Le prix Zaaid est un prix extrêmement important compte tenu des valeurs qu'il cherche à promouvoir, des valeurs qui ont été incarnées d'ailleurs toute sa vie par le cheikh Zaaid, qu'on appelait de son vivant d'ailleurs le sage des Arabes. C'est pour vous dire à quel point il a porté très haut les valeurs de la fraternité humaine, les valeurs de solidarité, les valeurs de justice, les valeurs de paix, les valeurs de tolérance, toutes valeurs dont le monde a besoin aujourd'hui, parce que nous sommes dans un monde qui est en crise de valeurs, nous sommes dans un monde qui a perdu ses repères, nous sommes dans un monde qui n'a plus de boussole. Donc, en mettant en place ce prix, pour promouvoir ces valeurs, les Émirats arabes unis apportent une contribution importante à la paix dans le monde, à la promotion de la fraternité dans le monde, à la promotion de l'alliance des civilisations, si je peux m'exprimer ainsi, et à l'alliance des religions, et surtout celle des trois religions monothéistes, c'est-à-dire l'islam, la religion chrétienne et puis le judaïsme. Cela me paraît extrêmement important. C'est une contribution extrêmement importante à la mise en place de ce qu'on appelle ailleurs la civilisation de l'universel. C'est une contribution majeure. Les critères, c'est, comme je l'ai dit, les valeurs. Il s'agit de choisir celui parmi les candidats qui a le mieux porté les valeurs de la fraternité humaine, les valeurs contenues dans cette déclaration qui a été signée le 4 février 2019 par le pape François et le grand imam d'Al-Azhar. Donc, ces valeurs servent de guide, ont servi de guide aux juges pour opérer un choix. Et les débats que ça suscite, la médiatisation qui est faite à l'occasion de l'attribution de ces prix permet de diffuser ces valeurs au niveau international, ce qui permet de toucher des millions et des millions de personnes. Et cela amplifie bien sûr l'impact du prix et l'impact des valeurs qu'il porte.
The award is an encouragement for people who do good work. Solidarity is very important for this award, is one of our criteria. And solidarity asks of you to do for the other something that you don't have to do, but a good thing to do. And this award also seeks people who may be very poor themselves, very simple themselves, but are willing to take sometimes great risks on behalf of other people. It is also important to have these values, whether you're an individual, an institution, or a country. And the UAE represents the category of countries in this work that we do. If we could have more countries that uphold human fraternity, what a great world it would be.
It's especially meaningful to speak about human fraternity and the Zaaid Award here in Abu Dhabi, because this is exactly where Pope Francis and the Grand Imam signed this very important document. And when it was signed in 2019, it was already a great contribution, and it made a great impact. And today, with the tremendous difficulties which we are facing at this very moment, social problems, economic problems, environmental problems, cultural conflicts, and so on and so on. But on top of that, we also have the terrible experience of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we can really say that the document on human fraternity is a most important and most essential contribution to our world, to our human family. And the great significance is that the response to the human fraternity document, the teaching of the Grand Imam and the Holy Father, is not so much to appreciate the words, but to translate these words into action. That what we need to discover is how to act as brothers and sisters, how to walk together as brothers and sisters, how to create or generate fraternity by resolving problems together. And so the Zayed Award is a beautiful and dramatic gesture which says that the importance of human fraternity is in action, is in what we do, and that every person, everyone can appreciate this message, and everyone can make gestures and undertake actions on behalf of human fraternity. That is the message. It's a universal message in response to a truly universal need. So as a member of the jury, I can say that we were very happy to receive the more than 200 nominations, and this gave us an experience of how many people and organizations are really working hard on different aspects of human fraternity all over the world, and helped us to discover not only that there is initiative and courage and creativity in all different places, but also really helped us to discover different dimensions and different, let's say, features of human fraternity that can be very important. For example, educational programs for people who otherwise would never have that chance, or struggling for the human rights of people who are discriminated against in very specific circumstances, or the important role of some teaching and publishing that people are doing on the theme of human rights. So the experience of as a member of the jury is really the variety, the richness of initiatives, and we know that the 200 is just an example, just a selection of the many thousands and thousands of people who are doing great things, many of them in a hidden way. And so when we look at the prize today, we appreciate those who have already won it and those who are winning it this year. And they themselves, by who they are and how they are responding to the world's challenges, they are showing, demonstrating how human fraternity can be carried out. Not so much to talk about it, it's not so much something to talk about, but it is something to really do. And the prize winners will, as the years go by, the prize winners will demonstrate in a very visible way how many and how important are every effort to promote human fraternity, every effort to treat someone as brother and sister, how important to include every group and community in the human family and to exclude no one. That is the basic message, and that is our experience as members of the jury.
This award is coming at a very essential time. For anyone who's following the news this week, things are quite explosive throughout the world. It's a heart-wrenching time, and many of us are struggling to understand why humans are doing this to other humans in Ukraine. So I think it is all the more important, especially now, but against a generally complicated international backdrop, to concentrate on the fundamentals, on what's important. And nothing is more important than our common humanity and than our common fraternity. And that is something that this award does, that its founders and creators set out for it to do, and that this jury, and I can only speak for myself as a member of this jury, took extremely seriously. When we started our deliberations, you know, the main overarching issue was, how are we coming out? How are we trying to come out of this pandemic? What will the world look like? And what message are we trying to send to the world as it struggles and tries to reorient itself? The award is being announced as a tectonic shift is occurring. But the message is the same. It's the same message as it was a few months ago, which is when we're searching for the cardinal points, we have to focus on the fundamentals. What do we stand for as human beings? I think the UAE has chosen to play a global role, and it has a vocation to do so. By forming this prize, by welcoming the Pope in 2019, and by signing the Abraham Accords. And this is a place where I see hope, where I see dialogue, where I see people coming together who might not have come together earlier, who might have wanted to come together, but might not have had the context in which to do it. So I think this is regionally and globally a very strong position, a courageous position, and a laudable position to be taking. And I think the UAE is setting itself out as a regional and as a global example of precisely what this fraternity is about. And it is my hope that it will inspire other countries, its neighbors and elsewhere in the world, to do this, to encourage its people and its interlocutors to look beyond perceived differences and to come to the realization that we are all in the same boat, and that it is in our mutual interest and in our human interest to dialogue and to move together forward. The prize is in its third year, and it's gaining momentum. And more people are learning about it, more leaders are learning about it, and it is, I think, in the process of becoming what it aspires to be, which is a globally recognized prize that stands for something important, and that I believe has the potential to move humanity forward with, call it incentives, call it motivation, but that is also anchoring the UAE as a real voice in this field, and as a regional and global example of what I've already said, which is how in a complicated world we must forge new paths forward.